Hey everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Mark here.
And Jenny. So Mark, I know you've been digging into some pretty interesting stuff this week, right?
Oh man, this is the cool part. We're talking about a company based right here in Greensboro, Triad Web Design Service. They just hit a pretty big milestone. 15 years in business.
15 years? In the tech world? That feels like an eternity with how fast things change, doesn't it?
Right? Isn't that wild? 15 years. It really makes you wonder how they've stayed not just relevant, but genuinely competitive and successful for that long. Especially when you think about how how accessible web design seems to be now with all the templates and the drag and drop builders out there.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You see ads for build your website in 5 minutes everywhere. So with all those options out there, what's actually different about what Triad Web Design does? What's their secret sauce for 15 years?
Here's the core difference for Triad. They really focus on custom-coded solutions. They build websites essentially from scratch, specifically tailored for each individual business's unique needs and goals.
Okay, wait, let me get this straight. Custom-coded. Like, they're not using templates at all? That feels like swimming against the current a bit, doesn't it? Sort of like, artisanal bread in a world of sliced white?
That's a pretty good way to put it. It's definitely not the fastest way to get a website up, that's for sure. But basically, what's happening is, while templates are quick to get up and running, you can launch something in an hour or a day. Custom code gives you complete control, down to the nuts and bolts. Think of it like tailoring a suit versus buying off the rack at a department store. A tailored suit fits times perfectly, every seam, every curve. A custom website is built to fit the business's specific processes, branding, and unique customer journey like a well-tailored glove.
That's a really helpful analogy. So beyond the perfect fit idea, what are the real, tangible benefits of that custom approach? Especially, for small businesses who might be looking at that initial higher cost compared to a $20 a month template?
Okay, so you get uniqueness, for starters. Your site doesn't look like 100 other sites built on the same theme or template. But it's genuinely more than just looks. Custom sites generally have better performance. They load faster because there's no extra unnecessary code that comes bundled with a template, the kind of stuff you don't even need. It's lean, it's mean, it's built for speed.
Okay, faster is definitely good. Especially for mobile users, right? We've all bailed on a slow-loading site on our phones.
Absolutely. And get this, their clients have specifically seen a 29% lower mobile bounce rate compared to their old template sites. Think about that. Almost 30% fewer people hitting the back button immediately when they land on the mobile site. That's substantial. Lower bounce rates usually mean people are sticking around, engaging, seeing what you're offering.
Which I imagine search engines like too. Does that custom code help with SEO, or is that something separate?
Oh yeah. That's another HUG benefit. With custom code, you have full, granular control over the technical SEO elements. You can optimize everything much more effectively. They're reporting some impressive results on that front. Their clients are seeing a 42% average increase in organic traffic within just 6 months after launching a new custom site.
Wow, 42%? For a small business, particularly a local one here in Greensboro, that can be genuinely transformative. More organic traffic means more potential customers finding you without paying for ads.
Exactly. And another statistic that really stood out to me, and frankly is where the rubber meets the road, is a 37% higher conversation rate. So it's not just getting more people to the site, that 42% traffic bump, it's getting them to do what the business wants them to do, whether that's buying something, filling out a contact form, giving a call. That's getting closer to the sale.
Okay, those are compelling data points. It backs up the idea that customization and a focus on performance really matters in the long run. Do we have an example of a specific business right here in Greensboro that's seen this kind of impact?
We do. Elm Street Bakery, a beloved spot right here in Greensboro. They've been a Triad client since 2016, and according to Sarah Jenkins, the owner, their revamped website has led to consistently higher daily customer influx, specifically via those online conversions we just talked about. People seeing the menu, placing an order, finding directions. It's directly impacting their foot traffic and sales.
That's a fantastic case study. It's always helpful to hear concrete examples, a business people might recognize right here. You mentioned they've been a client for a while. How is their client retention overall?
Their client retention rate is really strong. We're talking a high percentage of clients who've been with them for over 5 years. And an interesting part of their strategy, which feels almost, I guess, old school or traditional in this fast-paced digital age, is that they've done in-person consultations since the day they started.
In-person consultations? Like sitting down across a table, having a coffee, and talking face-to-face? That times does feel rare now, doesn't it? But I can absolutely see the value in that. Building that personal connection, really understanding the business owner's vision, their challenges, their goals firsthand, it's deeper than a quick Zoom call.
Right? It shows they're not just in the business of churning out websites based on a template and some generic requirements. They're in the business of building relationships and becoming genuine partners in their clients' digital growth. That personal touch, that understanding, can make a noticeable difference in trust and ensuring the final product truly meets expectations, not just technically, but aligning with the business's soul.
Yeah, I agree. It's about that human element in a digital service. Okay, so they've got this solid foundation of 15 years, focusing on custom sites that get serious results, building strong, long-term relationships. What about looking ahead? What's next for them? What are they keeping an eye on in the future of web design?
They're definitely not resting on their laurels after 15 years. They're looking ahead, embracing emerging trends and technologies. One area they're actively exploring and implementing is progressive web apps, PWAs.
Okay, progressive web apps, PWA. I've heard that term floating around. What exactly are those, in simple terms?
Okay, think of it like this. A PWA is a website that gives you the look, feel, and functionality of a mobile app. You can even add it to your home screen, but without actually needing to go to an app store and download anything. It lives right there in your browser or on your home screen icon.
Oh, that sounds cool. So, faster loading, maybe offline capabilities if your internet drops?
Exactly. Enhanced user experience because it feels more seamless and app-like, better reliability, often much faster loading times, and yeah, even some degree of offline functionality depending on how it's built. It leads to better engagement because it feels like a more polished, integrated experience.
That makes sense. It bridges the gap between a traditional website and a dedicated mobile app. Anything else they're focusing on?
They're also putting a significant emphasis on accessibility standards, making sure the websites they build are usable for everyone, regardless of ability. That means things like proper alt text for images, keyboard navigation support, sufficient color contrast. It's crucial for reaching a wider audience. You don't want to exclude potential customers. And frankly, it's just the right and responsible thing to do in web development these days.
For sure. Accessibility isn't just a nice to have anymore, it's becoming essential. So they're definitely not feeling content with 15 years. They're celebrating that milestone. But they're also actively looking to the future of web design and how new technologies and standards can continue to benefit the small businesses they serve.
Pretty much summarizes it. It's a compelling example of how specializing, focusing on quality, and doing it really well for a long time, with a genuine connection to your clients, can indeed pay off. And the tangible impact on local businesses here in Greensboro really speaks for itself, with those conversion and traffic numbers.
Definitely. It highlights the power of a strong, well-built online presence that's not just a pretty facade, but truly functional and built on a solid technical foundation. Well, that's some really interesting stuff, Mark. It makes you think differently about the easy website builders.
Glad you found it insightful, Jenny. It really shows how core, proven web principles, combined with deep experience and a genuine focus on the client's actual business goals, still matter immensely, perhaps even more so in a crowded digital landscape.
Agreed. All right, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone.
See you next time.